Welcome back, everybody. This is My Journey 4K. We are back in IMSA in the Dallara P217. Let's get into it. Looks like we're starting this race in P3 today. Strength of the field is in 1921. Heavy rain, we're going to follow position early. Hard to see the cars in front of us. We're coming into this race with a 1579 rating. It is a 35-minute race. We'll need to stop at least once for fuel. It is an A license requirement for entry. We've got a few classes here. This is multi-class racing. We have GTP hypercars, the LMP2 prototypes, and the GT3 production race cars, also known as GTD, which stands for Grand Touring Daytona. We're extending the gap to the car behind right now. This rain is certainly going to make things difficult for us. Looks like we might have an issue with the audio again. Let's fix it right here. There we go, all better now. Sorry about that. This is Fuji International Raceway located in Japan. It is raining for this race. This is early on iRacing rain when they just added it at the beginning of 2024, mid-2024. This is our first race in full rain in iRacing though. We fell one spot. This is the Fuji layout without the chicane, as you can see. Track is very wet. I'm sure we're on wet tires. You can see a puddle that's been building up on track. We've fallen down to 4th in our class currently. We started the race in 3rd, but we're not too far back from the car in front right now, keeping them in our sights. Oh, the car in front lost control, slid off track. We're going to gain that position. Nice clean pass there. We're now back up to third in our class. We did start the race in third, losing sight of second and first though. We'll have to see if we can start to close the gap to them anyway. You can see it's continuing to rain, plenty of big puddles out there. Looks like we're starting to open up the gap to the car behind. I can see first and second in front of us. Looks like they are battling. I think I have to make one more adjustment to the audio setting. It was a pretty small field today. 2 GTP cars in the field. We had enough for scoring though, so we will be racing for rating here. Still third in our class, looking to close down the gap to second. We can see them ahead, but they're a few seconds up right now. We have a pretty clear track in front and behind right now as well. The car that did challenge us early on is falling further and further back. Not sure if they had another issue or if they're just losing confidence now. Looks like maybe the rain has stopped, or at least slowed down quite a bit. Some of the puddles are starting to go away. Just as I'm saying it, I'm seeing a bit more rain there. Maybe it's spotty. Like we're getting pretty brave driving on those curbs in the wet. Looks like we're probably keeping up there with first and second in our class right now. We'll see how this turns out, if we can close the gap more or not. Like I said earlier, this is a 35-minute race. We're going to stop at least once for fuel. Open. It probably opened early here because you can nearly go the whole way without stopping. And I think I've seen some people do a no-stop strategy. This is one of the few places you seem to be able to do it, and when it's raining, you don't use as much fuel either. So Oh, slow GT3 car off the side of the track. We're going to get by cleanly. They're staying out of the way for now. Looks like we're deep in the puddle, which is pretty good because the track seems to be drying up a little bit here and there. Looks like it's about a 2-second gap to the car behind now. Starting to catch another GT3 car. This one's a Ferrari. This isn't going to be... Yep, they're going to have to pull it aside for us. We're flashing our lights. We'll get by no problem here. Looks like we're starting to catch another GT3 car now. Catching a Porsche GT3 now. Looks like they're third in their class. We are also third in our class. We started the race in third. Trying to put more of a gap between us and fourth place. Looks like a BMW is the next GT3 car that we're going to need to pass. Now we're going to catch and pass the BMW here just before the next curve. We're second in the GT3 class currently, so we only have one more GT3 car to pass before we're passing the leader. And we're looking at the lap. clear of the GT3 fluid. Calculate the time of the car behind still as well. They just got past the BMW. A little bit less than 2 seconds maybe. Looks like just a little bit on this, it looks like. But we'll see if by the start finish we get that back. Slightly under 2 seconds now. Maybe 1.5 here. Starting to catch that first place GT3 car now. You can see about where the stretch there. There's a little bit more of a gap before the last time, but this time definitely. Porsche GT3 will go around the outside here. We'll probably leave them in a bad position for the car behind, trying to get by on the inside of this horseshoe. We're going to be able to get a full speed exit here. LMP2 car behind is going to struggle to get a full speed exit. But it looks like the rain may have picked up a little bit, or just really likes to rain in that spot in particular. See the car behind's really struggling and fighting to get caught up. So a little bit closer now, maybe. Like somehow we got through that section just a little bit faster that time. We've opened up the gap to the car behind a little more now. Looks like we're more on the racing line. Still seeing a good amount of rain on the track. And still some coming down. Big trail kicking up behind the car right now. Looks like we might be taking it extra careful in some of these spots, knowing that any off-track is very costly here. Losing control or spinning or hitting the wall, definitely not something you want to do. With a wet track, it's way harder to stop the car. sort of looks like the car behind's a little faster in different sections of that last section. Cars in front could be GT3 cars. It's really hard to tell with the spray that's coming out of these cars. You can see the car behind sitting a little further back this time in the spray. Probably making it hard for them to see, which benefits us slightly. Marker Ferrari here. Gonna go around the outside, flashing our lights. Hopefully we see us. Issues. LMP2 car likes to stop and slow down on the inside. So that's the natural. So we've opened up the gap slightly more again. Trying to catch some more GT3s. Who's that in front? An LMP2 car off the track. They'll let us pass. It is a back marker in the LMP2 field. They are 6 points, I think it says. Last place LMP2 car we just passed there. Gonna help us put a little more space between us and the car behind now. Car behind's gonna have to try to stop offline going into turn 1. Fairly close back there. I think they tried their best to stay out of the way. They're really struggling in this race, you can see. Just lapping in here, only a little more than halfway through the race. Push it for fuel, we'll have to see when we decide to make our pit stop. But if we're going to push it for fuel, it'll probably be one of the last couple laps we actually have to come in. We can take a little splash. 4th place, close the gap a little bit. I'm not going to close the gap in the second. Can see nothing in front of us at the moment, so we're only concerned about this LMP2 car behind us, I think. See us at number 8, 4th overall. There's only one GTP car in front of us right now. The other one, I don't know what happened to him. The LMP2 car in 4th place, all over us now. 1 to 10. A couple more corners to go here on this lap. We'll see if they try and make a move or not. We're going to stick to the racing at the moment. Getting off those curbs. That slippery paint. Oh, the car behind going off track. Back on pretty quickly though. It's going to allow us to open up the gap a little bit more. Looks like probably a GT3 in front of us there. We might be having, or seeing a little less rain on the track now. Behind's going to make another mistake there, going a bit wide. That'll allow us to open up the gap even more. Really struggling to catch up and get by us right now. I think they're getting frustrated. Close to the end of the pit window. I think just another couple laps, I think. Looks like we have a GT3 car just ahead and another car coming out of the pits. I could not see what kind it was. LMP2 car, they're going to pull off to the side really slow. Outside here. Video anomalies. I'm not sure what happened, but we did maintain position there. I don't think we were side by side. Just a little tail this is a bit close. There. Inside again, trying to make another move. We're holding on to it for now. Gonna go off into the curbs, getting a little bit loose. Well, we're able to see the car in front of us a lot better now. BMW GT3 should be able to off the scene. We really have to make our pit stop here. Still just sticking to our racing line, running a pretty clean race so far. We did get close there. We made contact with that car. I don't think we did when we were bouncing around on the screen with the little video glitch. We did maintain our position for now. Nose to tail with the car behind. They're going to pull off to try and get some clear vision, I think, and improve the pits possibly. We're going to stay out for at least one more lap. We are over 30 minutes in our 35-minute race. How many laps we do will depend on where the leader is when time expires. We're going to need to come into the pits soon for fuel. It'll either be at the end of this lap or the next one. We can make it to the next one. We might be able to make it to the end without any fuel, but I doubt it. We're still going to need to splash at the very end, I think. Car behind probably thinks they're going to do an undercut by pitting early. Now that they're not on my tail anymore, I can really just focus forward and put down a decent lap, I think. It looks like the sun's starting to come out. It is brightening up a little bit, maybe. We're going to come into the pits now. It's a tricky pit entry. It has a bit of a chicane S to it. To see if we come out in front of the car that we were battling with, the number 10 LMP2. Stop now, just going to take a splash of fuel and we'll be off. This shouldn't take long at all. There we can see the number 10 coming up now as we exit pit lane, getting off the pit limiter. It's getting close. Looks like we maintain third position for now. Let's see. Along with the full tires. They are trying to make a move to the inside. We have a Porsche GT3 ahead. We're going to go 3 wide before this corner. Looks like possible contact. I don't know what that was. The number 10 car slowed up quite a bit. Pulling off to the side of the track there. It's possible they cut that and took a slowdown penalty trying to get in front of us. Behind's going to go a little bit wide there off those curbs, having a tough time keeping it on track. I think it's a little bit squirrely. We've extended that lead again to a little more than a second. Not much time remaining in the race now. Go, we'll see if there's any action here. Marshall's post. Looks like a white flag. Possibly. We'll see where the leader is when time expires completely. It's going to expire soon, so we'll probably just do this one lap, and that should be it for the race. Still third in our class right now. We started the race in third. Coming up on the BMW GT3, we're going to slip to the inside here. They're going to catch that LMP2 car behind us at a bad time. They're going to have to go side by side through that corner. The one disappeared off the corner. They're still there. Still have a decent gap. Now, a car behind is going to take that curb pretty hard. Not the best exit for him. He's still maintaining our racing line. We're in a very clean race so far. See the car behind's really trying to push it and struggling, and we're just running smooth in the rain. Windshield wipers on. We're gonna take third place, flashing our lights. That's it. Podium position for our first race in the rain. We started this race with a 1579. We're going to gain 25 points. We're up to a 1604. We started the race in third and finished in third. And that's it, folks. Thanks for watching. See you next time.